You know, first of all, we are doing this for her, okay? Because neither one of us wants to get divorced. And secondly, I know you're the big marriage expert. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Your wife is dead.
This might be the most perfect episode of Arrested Development. Not because of any single joke, but how each joke is constructed and told. Where most sitcoms rely entirely on funny dialogue and quips between characters, this show builds comedy through editing, music, narration, and structure. Stacking jokes so each moment works on multiple levels at once. I once saw a tweet that said, "The comedy of Arrested Development folds in on itself so much we no longer process it as funny, but as beautiful." And no episode proves that more than Season 2, Episode 3, Amigos.
Here's some money. Go see a Star War.
An episode that reaches comedic heights I am constantly in awe of. Amigos opens with a simple exchange between Michael and his brother Job. On the surface, it's just funny dialogue, but the script is quietly planting seeds. Legoland.
I'm gonna go look into some Legoland tickets for the weekend.
Circumvent.
We should circumvent union penalties.
Circumvent.
Starla's terrible printing.
These are very small. Tell you what, from now on, we're gonna use just the big printer.
Job having no friends.
I've got friends, Michael.
None of these are throwaway lines, but setups for later. In fact, the callback is probably what Arrested Development is most famous for. The number of times it can put a different spin on the same punchline is kind of ridiculous.
Her?
Her?
Him?
So all these throwaway lines won't be throwaway lines for long.
So I got a call today from Jean Parmesan, our private eye.
This is similar, but it's also setting up a structure.
Liza, because I'm a private detective. Jean Parmesan, how are you doing?
It's a funny moment on its own, but it's establishing a recurring joke pattern to take advantage of later. So many times in this show, an episode will teach you how a joke works, so it can pull the rug from under you later. First, Blue Tobias reveal. Second, Blue Tobias reveal. Then there's the expectation and the subversion. We get the main threads. Michael heading to Mexico to look for his father. Lucille throwing a party for Buster going off to the army. And Job hiring a private detective.
I think I might have someone who's going to circumvent the law.
And immediately, the jokes start looping back. The mispronunciation returns and the gene pattern is reinforced.
Jean Parmesan?
Right here.
You don't get time to process one joke before another one's built on top of it. The episode feels so dense because all of the jokes are interconnected. Nothing exists in isolation. It wasn't re-explained that Tobias has accidentally joined the Blue Man Group, thinking that it was a support group for depressed men. It's like the broken step in Modern Family or Ross's
We were on a break!
The jokes only work if you've been keeping up with the show.
And the next morning, the family met at Buster's send-off party.
Here the show really flexes its ensemble. We got Job's chicken dance, Buster deciding to escape to Mexico to avoid the army, and another instance of Starla's printer skills.
Well, this is a blueprint of Dad's face.
Which seems like a payoff, but it's actually another setup in disguise. Just to clarify, we are only 7 minutes into the episode. I haven't had this much fun in such a short amount of time since...
Let's go down to Mexico.
All right, let me grab Anne real quick.
Wait, Anne's here?
Yeah, I invited her. You said you wanted to spend some time with her. You said I was being an Anne hog.
Anne hog's coming?
Michael gives his mother's Mexican housekeeper a lift home, and when the car stops, Buster assumes that he's arrived in Mexico.
Mexico.
In fact, he was in Santa Ana, a town 6 minutes inland from his own.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find a place to live.
Now everything starts stacking. Just take this moment.
Hey, check out who's on that hog in the rearview mirror.
George Michael!
What?
20 miles to Legoland!
In that moment, 3 separate comedic threads collide. We get a call back to Job's bounty hunter, a call back to Legoland, and a call back to Michael accidentally calling Anne Hog.
Anne hog's coming?
That's 3 setups paying off in one punchline, and it only makes any sense if you've watched the last 10 minutes.
And Buster was finding himself right at home.
Oh my god, I used to have a shirt just like that.
It was Buster's old shirt. Lucille had given it to Lupe.
What's impressive here is how much of this is carried by the narration.
And the hand chair. I had one in my room. I wonder where that went.
It went right there.
Arrested Development has this additional comedic layer that can undercut, reframe, or accelerate jokes instantly.
Your average American male is in a perpetual state of adolescence, Arrested Development.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
And even now, the episode is planting future payoffs for later in the season.
Well, I never thought I'd miss a hand so much.
And then a seal bites off his hand.
The level of foreshadowing is incredible in how early it appears, because the show was so meticulously planned.
Oh, Anne, I just, you know, I barely know her.
Why don't just the two of you go back in the stair car together?
Well, that's no fun.
And now we start getting all the payoffs.
Gene Parmesan, how are you doing?
Gene Parmesan? Right here.
I know you. You're Job's friend.
Not friend. Bounty hunter.
Gene? There's no way you're that good.
The pattern was established and then subverted.
Maeby had had enough of her mother and decided to go back with Michael.
I'm so sick of her. The lame flirting.
Michael, of course, thought Maeby was referring to Anne.
This is one of the show's best structural tricks. Two characters having completely different conversations, yet still responding to each other.
She's a child.
No, that part's not really her fault.
Maeby is talking about her mother flirting with Job's bounty hunter, but Michael thinks she's talking about Anne and the logistics of who is going in which car.
And it's not a race thing.
Yeah, whoever gets there first.
So when she says it's not a race thing, it lands perfectly for both interpretations, but for completely different reasons. And this is the perfect show to take advantage of this style of joke. Every character in the ensemble has a completely different perspective of the episode, so this confusion is expected.
And you know, not to feel sorry for myself, but it's like I'm being forgotten here.
So many jokes are enhanced or entirely created through editing alone.
Read this.
Did you and Dad adopt a child?
The post-production is used as part of the joke structure, especially when it comes to music. It's often so overlooked, but music is excellent at reinforcing a joke. I get the sense that the creators just sat and tried every song in their catalogue under every gag and decided which one fits the best.
Yeah, well, you could save me a lot of stress if you just turned yourself in.
No, never. I can't go back to the joint. No, I can't not go back there.
What could be better?
Stop it.
Hey, man. The whole gang's together.
Get up there! It's a hellhole.
And now we finally get a payoff for all the Blue Man Group setup and the printer thread.
What are you doing?
George Bluth, you're coming with me.
That's not my father.
Well, according to my photograph, it is.
That's an honest mistake. Also, I think your knee is on my heart.
I love how the camera holds on Tobias here. The camera often becomes part of the joke.
All right, just stay down and let me handle this.
Is that Mr. Bluth there?
He's got us, Dad. Come on out.
Talking to you, you idiot. Cover.
I ain't your daddy. How's it going, brother?
You want to pop the trunk and roll the windows down, please?
Arrested Development also parodies the classic TV structure of On the Next.
On the next Arrested Development,
Often using this time to deliver the episode's best joke.
Tobias gets medical attention.
I've got some bad news. I'm Gene Parmesan. How you doing?
He got me again!
But I did overhear that he's bleeding internally.
Arrested Development isn't just funny because it's clever. It's funny because it knows to treat the structure itself as part of the joke. It builds up all this information and then lets it all collide. A throwaway line in minute 2 will become a payoff in minute 12. A misunderstanding in one scene will become a completely different joke in another. The music, editing, and narration are doing comedic work all the time. And that's why Amigos stands out so much, because it shows how comedy can be layered. So by the end, no line feels isolated. Every moment is connected to something else, whether you noticed it or not. One of my favourite episodes takes the fact that the show's ratings were failing and uses this to go completely over the top.
Tonight, an Arrested Development you can't miss. A cavalcade of stars.
This ability to squeeze a joke out of anything, the episode titles, the hyper-specific callbacks, even their own failure, is what makes the show feel like it's constantly turning in on itself while still moving forward. They even foreshadowed America's relationship with the Middle East 20 years early. Now that is comedic timing.